Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Blue Ox Avail tow bar on a 2023 Ford Ranger. Now the Blue Ox Avail is a great heavy-duty tow bar. This one's rated at 10,000 pounds, so for a Ranger it's not going to be an issue at all. But this means that you could also eventually move to a larger vehicle later on with a flat-towed vehicle and not really have to worry about overloading this tow bar. So with those numbers, there's very few vehicles that are able to be flat-towed at that same size. So when it comes to flat-towing a vehicle, there's going to be 5 main required components to be able to accomplish that. And the first one, we'll start on the vehicle side, is going to be your base plate. And your base plate attaches to the frame of the vehicle to create a structural mounting point for your tow bar, but also a lot of times your safety chain loops, and sometimes you'll also have spots for the rest of your components. Now, the tow bar will be that connecting point between the base plate and the hitch on the RV, and that's really what's structurally holding it all together. You also have a braking system that's going to allow the vehicle to slow and stop as necessary. And here we have a breakaway cable, so in case of an accidental disconnect, it's going to pull that cable and apply the brakes on the vehicle, and that way it's not rolling down the highway. Going along with a little bit of safety, we have our safety chains, which attach to the base plate and then the hitch on the RV, and that's going to be in case of a catastrophic disconnect. You still have that attachment point. It's going to hold onto the vehicle again, so it's not free rolling down the road. We also have our diode wiring, which is going to transmit the light sequence from the RV to the taillights on the vehicle. Also, your diode wiring is used in a lot of different braking systems as well, but that way you can have your running lights, your turn signals and brake lights happen on the back of the vehicle to let people know what you're doing. Some of the things that you look for in a tow bar, and something that I recommend to everyone, is get a non-binding tow bar. And what that means is when you're ready to unhook your vehicle, some of your older style tow bars, you have to be on perfectly level flat ground. And if you've been to any campsite ever, that's not always the case. And then you're really having to fight to get these arms to retract, and it makes it really tough to unhook the vehicle without the use of a hammer or a tool to get that to release. And that's not the case here. This is non-binding, which simply means once those arms are fully extended and locked into place, to get this to be unhooked, pretty simple. You'll just pull your pin out, and it doesn't matter if you're in, maybe some not so flat pavement or anything like that. You can simply push this handle down and draw those arms back, making it that much easier to unhook. Now, non-binding is definitely, again, something I look at, but this one doesn't exactly have a ton of frills like some of the other tow bars out on the market, but you're going to get a very solid heavy-duty one. It does have some nice features, though. Your release arms, or for your non-binding, have a nice rubber coating, so it's got a really good feel to it. You also have these boots that go on the shafts, so that way they stay protected long-term. Now, being a Blue Ox tow bar doesn't mean that you have to have a Blue Ox base plate. Ours does, so it works out perfectly, but if you had a Roadmaster base plate or a different brand, you could simply swap that end out, and we have those available here at eTrailer. That way you can connect to any style of base plate. Some other great added features that are included with this are going to be your safety chain cables. So that's one less component that you have to worry about picking up. And these are going to be a coiled style, so they're really nice. They kind of keep everything tidy. You don't have to worry about excess dragging. And also it comes with the pin and clip to be able to get this into the hitch of your RV. So some nice little added features that they've included. Now, when you are done and ready to unhook your tow bar, it's pretty simple. You'll just get all of your components taken out. So we'll get our diode wiring here, as well as our breakaway switch from our braking system. And then you do have this snap pin here, so it kind of holds it in place, which is really nice. You can pull that out, take your pin out. And that's another great feature that you might not see on other tow bars is once I pull this out, I'm going to draw these arms back and I'll show you that it does support itself. And that doesn't seem like a big deal. You can see we're not attached. It's free holding itself up. Some of your other tow bars, you actually have to, they're gonna drop on you. And that means hooking them up can be tricky, and it's gonna scratch them when they drop, inevitably. So the fact that this holds it in place kind of makes it easier to guide that in and get it all hooked up to your vehicle. Now, when you are done and you're ready to leave your flat tow vehicle behind and just take the RV, you can leave this on the back of your RV and it stores really nicely. So we'll just draw our arms together and just pull this up. And once in the vertical position, you can choose to store it to one side or the other, doesn't matter. Now, something I do recommend is Blue Ox does have a tow bar bag that's going to cover this, and that way, if you do leave it on the back of your vehicle, it's going to prevent road grime from, causing any gross buildup long term. But also, it's nice because you can store the rest of your components in there, and that way, it's all in one bag, and you're ready to go. And that was a look at the Blue Ox Avail tow bar on a 2023 Ford Ranger.